You might be asking yourself, will there ever be a discussion, a clarifying conversation? Will there be a conversation in general about the situation? Maybe what happened, what exactly was or is going on? That's what we're looking into today. And dear ones, you know, we are a collective. Person cards are gender neutral, applicable to both male and female. And I took the question from the comments because there have often been hints or questions about whether there will be a clarifying conversation or if he or she will engage in it. And you know, dear ones, you can really always write questions for a collective reading in the comments. And, you know, I always read all the comments and thank you from the bottom of my heart for the trust you place in me, also because you comment. And to everyone who doesn't comment, thank you for being here and thank you for your loyalty on my channel. Yes. And as I said, I often read about it. Yes, a clarifying conversation, right? And then I thought, let's just take this question for the collective. Let's take a look. A very warm, loving hello, a wonderful, loving hug to you. And you are truly wonderful. You are absolute heart angels. So let's take a look. Let's start with the Nine of Wands. Yes. You have probably experienced that the person opposite you is quite closed off. So unapproachable, always with this defensive attitude. It might not have always been this way. You know, we are a collective, so there might also be moments like this, maybe when various issues have been addressed or something. In any case, there is a theme of defensiveness, this unapproachability, being closed off. But it is also the case that, as is now being shown, this defensive attitude has something to do with it. And it might also be that he has quite a lot of endurance in all of this. This defensiveness and this closed off nature. And it can also be seen in him or her that he is cautious. Something is here. And yes, we are now at the question, will there be the clarifying conversation? So it definitely has something to do with caution. He has this defensive attitude. That's the issue that occupies him immensely. So that's what he keeps coming back to. There's a reason why he might be avoiding it regarding the whole matter. So now we have the wands again, Three of Wands. Yes, he might be lacking a bit of self-confidence, but there is definitely a little bit of movement to be seen because we already have some positive prospects for the whole thing. Yes, the restraint is still evident, a bit sluggish, perhaps in the sense that he tends to be defensive, especially you. Ask him. He keeps reverting to this defensive stance, but there's an issue with his self-confidence, yet it also shows that a bit of confidence is being displayed here. And so I would say it's like an exploration tour, slowly feeling his way forward. So we have movement here, lying. Let's see what else comes up here. So, and then we have the Queen of Wands. So we have quite a lot of wands here, right? So, okay. So Queen of Wands. He also associates with you that you might be a bit strong-willed. You want this conversation. But he also senses that it's what's swirling inside him. Yes, where he might still be hesitant now. Or something is moving him in this direction to have the clarifying conversation with you. Because there's also something, yes, he somehow doesn't really want to hurt you. Or maybe there are one or two things that are on his mind, which he might not really want to say because he knows you are compassionate. And compassionate, we have feelings here. And that seems to be quite a topic for him as well. But we have something positive here again, this optimism. He still lacks the courage, so here is courage, but we have movement in it. And he is getting more into the feeling, into the empathy of how you might feel about what he or she has done or not done in the conversation. So it's already stirring a bit in him or her. And let's take a look. We are now going completely in depth here. And take a look at what is moving him or her, what's going on for this clarifying conversation, whether it will happen. Yes, so we can already see here, that he or she still shows this anxiousness. What we had here with the courage, now we have the anxiousness again included here. And yes, this worry, this withdrawal. No insecurity, we have the self-confidence. So there is really still a lack here. We will now look further to see what else we get. Well, so what is very clearly visible here? Do you still see all of this? Yes. Okay. So what is clearly visible? Yes. For some, it is also like this. What is coming here? Like a counteraction from you. This is a big issue, and it indeed provokes fear. This is the fear. He really doesn't know what to do. And he vehemently avoids you this clarifying conversation. Currently, what we can still have now, it is shown in him that inside him it is quite chaotic. A lot is really going on inside him. It's swirling tremendously. Because he knows that he hasn't told you everything. He knows it. Or if he has told you something, that it might not have really corresponded to the truth. Maybe only part of the truth was conveyed. And his insecurity has also led him to, let's say, not always, collectively, always show everything as he or she really is. That's also it. He has also played a bit of a role for you, but played a role in the sense of how he might feel, especially when it comes to feelings, when it comes to love. We always have that topic. And he quietly and secretly withdrew from the affair here because it became quite tight for him here. As the feelings started to take over, the feelings, the love, definitely the love, and something really changed within him or her. And he also retreated and then simply had a knee-jerk reaction. We clearly have a knee-jerk reaction. Perhaps it was also about entering into a committed relationship, or even intensifying the relationship. Because even if you were in the relationship, he quietly or suddenly, from one day to the next, just had this spontaneous action here. Ended the whole thing, the end of the relationship, or suddenly broke off contact because he didn't want to enter into a relationship. Because that's his insecurity. And even if you were in a relationship, he didn't always tell you everything completely. He didn't fully open up to you. You didn't really live your love freely in this ease, this complete ease. Something always got in the way. Be it other people, be it something outside. Maybe there's always a bit of this, I think, this cautiousness lying here as well. And as I said, that's his self-confidence. Maybe he always presented himself outside. Or what does he have now again? Why does he always need this presence? Or wanting to show himself, always wanting to show this visibility to one or the other. Or even if you were in a getting to know each other phase now. As I said, I have here short call reactions. Suddenly bush and gone, retreated, just left you standing there, and you wanted to have a conversation, and he kept refusing. Didn't contact you anymore, or said or wrote, yes, there's nothing more to talk about. Everything is settled. And it's also like that maybe it was about the relationship, something more stable. And he, as mentioned, fled here because he felt, he reached the point where he felt, oh God, I'm opening up completely. I'm letting myself go. He developed more really deeply. And that's where he says, oh God, help. He doesn't trust himself. Now it comes to the question, I always say everything that the cards show. Regarding the question of whether there will be the clarifying conversation, he is still hesitant. He is afraid of it. He is really afraid that you will reject him, or that there will be a real outburst of, yes, this, that, and this, and that, and that. But it burdens him because it doesn't leave him unaffected either, because there are really unresolved issues here. And that's what is eating him up inside. And he already has the thought of having this conversation with you. But now at one point it is like this for him or her. When you ask often, he always goes on the defensive. I have that here now. More and more of this questioning and clarifying the conversation, or when can we finally hear calmly. So for you now, find calm within yourself because he wants to. And the clarifying conversation will definitely happen. What makes him uncertain is during the conversation, oh God, I know I hurt her. That's it. I know I made mistakes here. I know I wasn't honest. And he wants to tell you. He wants this clarifying conversation because there is still love involved here. Because a very big point for him or her is about connections. And he or she still feels the connection to you. Here, it also means that he is, as mentioned, a bit cautious when there is a conversation. What do you say? How much? Do you ask? So just as a little tip here, please always, always, always decide freely for yourselves because these are readings. And we are also part of the collective. I have the conversation. I have the connection between the two of you. And here it is such that this conversation is clearly indicated to me. And it is definitely with you. So you are right in the middle of it, not just standing by. And this conversation also means that if you want to know everything from him, really everything, you are the calming influence in all of this. Everything comes gradually. He will tell you, he will have the clarifying conversation. Yes, it is lightness. Only you can bring that into the conversation. Because I see you as very solution-oriented. I see you as communicative, and your determination is clearly shown to you. This conversation, even if you meet or perhaps talk on the phone, starts with small talk, a little something different. It's just a tip because because I see you here, you want to know everything, you want everything clarified and resolved. Go in, yes, resolved exactly. Because for you, I see the disappointment, the hurt. I see that with you very clearly. Well, he has it too because he knows he really messed up and just tried to quietly slip out of the affair here. But it's like this, you want to know everything and you want complete clarity. You want him to talk. He will come. He will really get into the flow of talking. And he will say more and more, the calmer you are. This calmness that you provide. And this relaxed, easygoing manner, he or she will completely take that from you. Because at the beginning, it seems to me that it's quite restless. And that's why I say because of you, the calmness is very, very important here, as well as this ease. Because with him, it's like this. Because he's always in this state of alert. Oh God, oh God, oh God, what's coming next? What's coming next? What's coming next? He wants to tell you, but I have it kind of just on the thin thread somehow, hanging by a silk thread. That only if a little too much comes from you now say, and what was there? And back and forth, you lied to me. That was just an example that he then immediately cuts off, hangs up, or simply leaves. And then I have you here again, lying in disappointment because you didn't have that clarifying conversation again. And that's why I would like to add this here. So therefore, this calmness, this calm center that you provide, letting him talk. At the beginning, maybe a bit of something different, a little small talk about various other things, maybe something neutral simply. And then he starts because that's what is on his mind. And perhaps also saying, oh man, the connection was really nice. And thank you for the time. Something like that. Because that's when I truly touched his heart. Here it lies. And then indeed, it's really like this warmth of the heart that is also shown. That will also be in the conversation. He might start off a bit cooler at the beginning, or the whole thing might be a bit shaky. But that's when the oiling really comes in, like the lubrication. So it really gets going, and he will talk more and more. Where you might think at that moment, wait, this is really a lot now. Wait a minute, how was it a few sentences ago? So it might also be a little bit mixed up. But here he gets into the flow of talking, and he wants to clear everything up because you mean something to him, you mean a lot to him. And he knows in the end what kind of mess he has made, and that he has really trampled on his happiness. He knows that. This should really be on the level of consciousness. Now let's see what else we can get for clarification. Yes, so now we have the swords in play. So swords, we have 5 of swords. 5 of swords. It's like this, he is really afraid, you know, that there might really be a conflict here. Yes, maybe also, yes, but as I said, please don't take it personally. These are his and her own experiences, revenge. That now a real vendetta might also come along. I do have it here, yes. But he will ask you for forgiveness because your loved one, your counterpart, is really in this moment ready for this conversation, and also this conversation, which is not yet happening at this moment. What is occupying him internally, as I mentioned earlier, is the harmony. He wants to return to harmony himself with you, and also wants to have this clarification. And here we have again 5 of swords, a dialogue. So will there really be this communication between the two of you? And he will definitely overcome the conflict. He is worried. He is really afraid that he will get a real bam full hit from you now. But he wants to resolve it. Of course, he can also have this fear, right? Yes. But he will overcome it to really say he knows he is at fault. He knows it for sure, absolutely. And in the end, this is a torment for his soul. And he wants this balance. And he really wants to uncover the secret. And he will truly free himself from his or her fear. And as I said, the guilty conscience is eating him up. But we have absolutely great movements here. Because he wants to resolve this. He can't continue like this. Because actually, I would say, because I have such short intervals. It's almost daily, this constant repetition. And this and that and that. As soon as he somehow finds peace, he becomes restless again. Because it bothers him that there is something unresolved here. And I would say it could really be that you are the first and only person with whom he has ever experienced something like this. Because this is something completely new for him, and that's why he can't conform to it. Because otherwise, he could push everything aside, resolved, all clear, and then I'm gone, it's done. But he definitely can't conclude things with you because this unresolved issue is eating him up. Dear ones, I thank you from the bottom of my heart for watching and wish you a wonderfully beautiful rest of the day. Goodbye.